Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. That was such a lame intro. I feel like I haven't sat down and spoken to you guys properly for a hot minute. So I'm feeling a bit weird. I'm feeling a bit out of my ordinary routine now, but it's fine. I'll get used to it. I am now 4 weeks post-show and I thought it would be a good time to do a little Q&A to chat about the reverse diet, post-comp things, you know, what my plans are moving forward with competing and yeah, all those fun stuff. So I went over to my Instagram and asked you guys to leave me some questions. If you don't follow me on Instagram already, what are you doing? Follow it, _ Samantha Wicks. But yes, as I said, I am now 4 weeks post-show, loving it, feeling myself, starting to feel a bit more fluffier again, but it's fine, it's part of the process. I'm honestly just loving being human again and just having energy and actually being able to function. There was a point where I couldn't even function. I would be 1 + 1 is window. I also found that after the show, that first week or two after the show, my prep brain was even worse than what it was in comp itself. So it's been a long few weeks. I'm actually able to focus now, and actually a quick recap on that. I've actually just finished having 12 days off training. Almost 2 weeks, pretty much 2 weeks, but 12 days to be exact. Just because my body really needed the rest. I was only supposed to have 3 to 4 days, and then it got to the 3rd day and I was like, oh, you know what, I might push it for a week. And then it got to the end of the 1st week and I was like, oh, I think I need a little bit longer. My body went through a lot last prep, mentally and physically, and I definitely felt the, not the, how do I explain it? If you guys followed my whole last prep journey, you guys would have seen that at the start of the prep, I was emotionally not exactly in the best place, but we got through it. And I found that a lot of the time during prep, I was kind of like Vampire Diaries, to be honest. You know how in Vampire Diaries when they switch off their emotions, and you know, if you know, you know. That was pretty much me at around 8 weeks out of the show. So there was a lot of times where something would happen in my life where I'd find out something about what was going on and I would just kind of push it to the side and just kind of let it go. I didn't have the emotional space to deal with that, and I'm fine. I'm not upset. I'm honestly healed and everything's fine now, but I definitely feel the fatigue from having to push through that while going through a prep, if that makes sense. And then physically, obviously, I was just pushing myself to the nth degree with training, etc. So yeah, I finally feel like myself again, which is really nice, but yeah, it's taken almost 2 weeks to get back to this point. So I'm actually heading back to the gym for the first time today, which I'm really excited for. I'm gonna go train some shoulders. And yeah, we got a game plan ready to go for the next couple of months. And yeah, I'm feeling really pumped, feeling really motivated, feeling more like myself. And I just can't wait to bring you guys along this journey over the next couple of months. But I think I've rambled on enough. Let's get into this Q&A. Favorite food or meal since post-comp? Ooh, that's a good one. I went, oh, but there's, oh. Don't do this to me. Number one would have to be this beef brisket potato pizza that I love. It's a beef brisket pizza with potato and chipotle sauce on top with a little bit of barbecue, and it just slaps. Pretty sure there's a little bit of onion on there too, but oh, now there's 3 things. This is hard. This is really hard. Number 2 would have to be an almond croissant. I had never had an almond croissant before, but everyone was raving about them when I had my first one during the week last week, and 10 out of 10 recommend. We also got it heated and it was just really moist. It was like cake, but better than cake. And I will say number 3, they have these new Oreo biscuits and they are Cinnabon flavor. It literally tastes like Biscoff on an Oreo. So yes, they would be probably my 3 favorite things, but my favorite meal would 100% be the beef brisket pizza. Any off-season plans / goals? So I did have a massive plan heading into the reverse diet, but I don't know, since having some time off and actually being human again and just kind of just taking a second to reevaluate where I'm at mentally, I'm unsure if I want to go ahead with my current plans. I'm not going to say what they are just yet because I'm still, honestly, I don't know. I'm leaning towards one way more than the other, but I'm still just kind of I just need mental clarity, I think, and when your head is just so everywhere else, it's really hard to make those decisions. So I'm just going to be taking my time, but regardless though, I am going to work towards that plan, just in case I decide to jump on in. So that plan was to ace this reverse diet, which at the moment I currently am. That's been a huge goal for me this whole prep, to be honest. The whole prep I was I just want to ace the reverse diet. And yeah, I'm going really well. I've got 3, technically 2.5 more weeks to go. And yeah, everything's going really smoothly. Mentally, I'm in a very good place with the reverse diet. Last reverse, I was not in a good place at all. You would not catch me sitting in front of a camera at all. I was just very self-conscious, and I was very, I don't want to say embarrassed, but I was just ashamed of like how I looked, which is really sad to say, but I kind of wanted to hide myself because I didn't understand what was actually going on, where now I'm just flaunting it. Flaunting the weight gain, flaunting the extra food. It's great. So yes, I used to reverse diet and then get back into training, which is this week. Focusing on growing my weaker points, which isn't actually a point, it's more just like overall size. Last season was all about building the foundation and really building a bikini body, I guess you could say. But now that I've built that foundation and spent the time to grow, I now just have to kind of build on top of that. I'd still say my shoulders are probably my weakest point. But yeah, overall, just need to build size on top of it, kind of thing. The goal actually is to keep my waistline as tight as we can during this off season. So far so good, like I'm pretty happy with it. And yeah, lift some heavy shit, get calories up, staying lean, that's pretty much the game. I will be very surprised if my calories get to 4,600 this time. Like, I don't think they will. I'm pretty sure they'll stay maybe high 3,000s, mid 3,000s, but there is no need for me to eat that much food anymore because that was such like a big growing season, when this time around I don't need to do that much growing. I don't know, we'll see. Like, if I get there, I get there. I'm not gonna force that type of food down though again. Obviously, I will keep you guys updated on what my plans are with competing moving forward. I'm just kind of in a bit of a funk. No, not a funk, like trying to make the right decision for my body and for my mental health and for my business as well. Like, it's a lot, like it's a massive decision that I need to make. As my coach said, there's no stress about my decision. There's no worry about whatever I decide. Like, the plan is still the plan. It just depends on what I decide to do in the end with it. So yeah, that's that, I guess. Okay, this question has been asked like 3 times and I don't know why this has been asked in this Q&A, but I'm just gonna address it. The question is, are you single? Are you dating anyone at the moment? Are you seeing someone? Guys, I feel like you guys are more invested in my love life than myself. My answer to all of those questions is I'm not answering that question because it's not a part of the Q&A topic. What a cliffhanger. How was digestion after going from a strict diet to eating more relaxed? Honestly, it wasn't as bad as last time, but I think that's because I was a lot smarter with my approach to this reverse diet. I found I was really bloated. I just had like really sharp stomach pain. Yeah, my stomach just was not happy. Now it's like kind of okay, like it's getting better. It's just teaching my body like to eat more food again. That's kind of the hard part. Like, I got a food increase, for example, and today's the first day that I'm on the 2,600 calories and I'm definitely struggling. My stomach is definitely feeling like really expanded and bleh. I haven't really had any problems with like indigestion or anything like that. But once again, it's mainly just if I eat shit foods, I definitely don't feel the best. I went from eating super clean for 20 weeks to eating shit food. So obviously the stomach isn't gonna be happy with that kind of food. I know it's gonna get easier. I just definitely swell a lot easier. Like, when I do eat out the next morning, I will be quite swollen from like all the fluid retention and stuff, but that will ease, it'll get easier. The good thing about my digestion is I can actually poop now, if anyone wanted to know that. During like the last few weeks of prep, I was not going to the toilet regularly at all, and it just feels good to actually be able to poop again. So yeah, fun facts. How are you doing? Good. I'm doing really good, to be honest. Mentally, like this whole reverse diet, I've been really positive with myself and been really kind with myself. I've also been very patient with the process, and I think that just comes from experience. It came from, you know, me having to go through it and go through the shit part of reverse dieting to then kind of learn from it and know where I went wrong, and also understand how to talk to myself better, I guess. When I realized how mentally fatigued I was from all the emotional stress and stuff that happened in my life, that was really hard. I did have to kind of really focus on taking care of myself. As I've said many times, I'm honestly like amazing. I'm the best I've ever been. But yeah, just the mental fatigue caught up to me, that's for sure. Physically, obviously I have my days where it's like, wow, okay, like I'm a bit fluffier, or my abs are gone, or I don't look as lean as I used to, or my, like literally this outfit is a lot tighter than what it was the last time I wore it, but it's a part of it, it's a part of the journey, it's part of the process. You know, what I was a couple of weeks ago was not ideal. It wasn't safe, it wasn't healthy to stay that lean for that long, and I understood that, and I embraced the shreds when I had them, and now it's all about growing, and it's about being healthy again, getting my period back, all of those amazing things. So I think, yeah, definitely feeling a lot better this time around, that's for sure. And I just feel so good to be like human again. Like, this is such an exciting time in my life, and I I didn't realize that until I've gotten here. This is the first time that I have been on my own outside of prep. Like, that's a bit crazy to me. I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this chapter of my life. A lot of things have opened up and a lot of opportunities have opened up, and I think I've also really dug deep into who I am as a person, and I've really learned more about myself during the last 4 weeks. So it's been really exciting, and I'm honestly so excited for where I'm heading over the next couple of months, because I don't think I'm gonna be the same person in 6 months' time. Like, I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago, and I definitely think I'm not gonna be the same person in 6 months' time. I'm also very excited because I am looking at moving to the Gold Coast very soon. So, yeah, no real reason to why. I just always wanted to experience living there, and my lease is ending soon. This house, I don't know, like I feel like I'm not supposed to be here anymore. Like I literally got back from Melbourne and I just sat on that couch where Ollie is, and I don't know, I just sat there and I was like, I'm not supposed to be here anymore. Like, this is not my home anymore. This was a chapter of my life and I'm forever grateful for that chapter, but yeah, I'm not supposed to be here. It's time to move on and see what's next. So yeah, I'm moving to the Gold Coast over the next couple of weeks, hopefully. Just applying for places and trying to find the right fit for me and Ollie. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Just very excited, very happy, very calm, and just grateful, very, very grateful. Is there certain foods you can consume when reverse dieting? Off-track food? Is that what you mean? I don't know, I'm gonna take it as that. But really, you don't really want to avoid food, because like the whole point is that you enjoy food outside of comp prep, but you want to minimize, so not avoid, but just minimize like deep fried foods, dairy, gluten as well. Like if you do have the gluten-free option, it's just easier on the stomach. Those types of things that you probably haven't had over prep, it is going to put a bit of a stress on the stomach. So obviously you can have them in moderation, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you don't want to have overloads of that, like what I did last prep, and it just wasn't a good time. But obviously you can eat out, enjoy yourself, eat off plan, all those types of things outside of comp. That's the point. Like, you want to enjoy yourself, you want to be a human being again, but definitely have it in moderation, kind of thing. My coach and I have a set amount of cheat meals that I have a week, so I get 2 cheat meals off track a week, and then if I have anything else out, well then I just have to fit it into my calories, which is honestly pretty easy, to be honest. This was going to be my last question for today: how to stop the urges for binge eating. So obviously post-comp, it is very hard to not have those urges and to not give in to those urges as well. I spoke about this a lot in my podcast, Project Upgrade, so if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Spotify, iTunes, there are many different episodes of where I actually talk about this topic, especially in our reverse diet episode and binge eating / emotional eating episode, so go check them out. But little tips that I found really helped were reminding myself that the food was still going to be there. When you're in prep, you kind of almost get scared of when you're going to eat next. It sounds so silly, but it's just one of those things. I like had anxiety over when I got to eat next, because I was going to be so hungry and it just wasn't a good time. So that kind of followed me into my off season. So, you know, when I got the chance to eat out, or when I got the chance to eat a chocolate or whatever, I definitely found that I just wanted to eat everything because I was scared that I wasn't going to get to do it again, even though that food was still going to be there in a week's time. Like, I could literally go back and get that ice cream or that chocolate that I wanted, but instead I just got everything together, and yeah, that probably wasn't the healthiest thing to do. Another thing would be forgive yourself. You know, don't be so nasty to yourself for stuffing up. You're human, you're allowed to stuff up, we make mistakes. If you're going to be nasty to yourself behind closed doors just because you enjoyed yourself with some chocolate and cookies or whatever it was, then what are you doing? You got to be your biggest hype person during this time. Forgive yourself, move on, and just remind yourself that there is nothing you can do to fix what you did. Like, what happened happened, but what you can do is you can control your next move. One thing you can control is maybe not buying whatever it is that you were binging. Maybe just don't let it be in the house for a couple of weeks. Another thing that you can do is just promising yourself to get back on track. Maybe you had a little bit of a binge last night, get back on track the next morning. It's not like you know, write off the whole week or write off the rest of the day, whatever it might be. You just get back on track. And just remind yourself that you're human and you're allowed to be a human being. You're allowed to enjoy yourself. You're allowed to enjoy those foods. Comp prep isn't human. That's the one thing you got to remember. Comp prep is not human, but you are human, and doing those things are human. So yeah, those were a few things that helped me get through my little binge phase, I guess. It was really hard. It was really, really hard, but also seek professional help. If you're really, really struggling, I support it. Talk to your friends, talk to your family. Don't feel scared to talk about these things. Don't feel ashamed. There's nothing wrong with it. Just accept and remember you are a human being, and the emotions that you're feeling, it's okay to feel that way. It's just important that you deal with them in the right way. But those are all the questions that I'm going to answer today. Just a quick little Q&A. yeah, I just wanted to kind of get back on here and just sit down and have a chat before things get pretty hectic over the next couple of weeks. Jaden is still staying on board. He's still gonna be filming me and filming my workouts, filming some trips that I have planned, and yeah, it's gonna be a very exciting year. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, and you can also go follow me on my Instagram, which is _Samantha Wicks. And yeah, I shall see you guys next week.